do you work for?
Just when people thought the Epstein files couldn't get any crazier, a second batch surfaced, revealing something far more terrifying.
Look at his face. There's two faces there. There's a face behind a face.
Clones, aliens, time travel.
And when we fight, we win!
This isn't a conspiracy. It's something no one was prepared to see.
Again, I don't know whether they're reptilian, vampires. I don't know. I don't claim to know what they are.
The United States Department of Justice had revealed a second batch of Epstein files, and it only got worse. People were spiraling. Then this photo started circulating online, allegedly taken in Tel Aviv on January 30th, 2026. The man in it looked exactly like Jeffrey Epstein, just older, beard grown out, hair longer. Official reports said he passed away in his jail cell back in 2019. But the internet wasn't buying it. Some even claimed he had been cloned. And since he was openly obsessed with eugenics and DNA experiments, people wondered, what if the one in the jail cell wasn't even him? Think Epstein might still be alive? Subscribe and stay with me. This rabbit hole goes deep.
Jeffrey?
Here's what made people freeze. A random guy had been walking home when he spotted a man strolling beside a woman, and it hit instantly. That face, the one plastered everywhere. It looked like a carbon copy of Jeffrey Epstein. The person filming even told him straight up he looked like Epstein. The man denied it, brushed it off. But the comments? They were ruthless. People swore it was him pretending not to be, hiding in plain sight. They believed he slipped up, let his guard down, and accidentally revealed himself to the world.
I just look like it.
Yeah, have a nice day, man.
Just when people thought it couldn't get stranger, more clips surfaced. Still images from a US drone had shown a man leaning on a vehicle, looking eerily similar to Jeffrey Epstein, recorded over a week after news of his death broke. That alone shook people. Then came another detail. In photos released in the Epstein files, he had a tribal tattoo on his left arm, but autopsy images showed no such tattoo, no trace. That tiny inconsistency fueled everything. Some genuinely believed the man who passed away wasn't Epstein at all, and the real one had been living quietly somewhere no one would ever think to look. Among alien and reptilian rumors, another theory had quietly circulated: vampire. People compared Epstein's face to the portrait of Andrew Jackson on the $20 bill, and the resemblance was honestly unsettling. The theory claimed he wasn't just powerful, he was immortal, an entity that had survived decades, maybe centuries, feeding off others to stay alive. At first it sounded ridiculous, but after all the reptilian and devil eyewitness claims floating around, some started second-guessing. The similarities were hard to ignore. Maybe far-fetched wasn't so far-fetched anymore. Mask theory.
His face moves when he talks.
Then came the bombshell buried in newly unsealed Epstein documents. Emails from 2021 allegedly claimed the real Joe Biden had been replaced in 2019 with a quantum-engineered clone wearing a hyper-realistic mask. People dug up old interview clips, zooming in frame by frame. In one video, someone swore his ear shifted upward in a way human skin just doesn't move. Then a still image went viral, Biden smiling, but near the edge of his ear, something looked off, almost peelable. Conspiracy circles exploded, claiming the mask was visible. According to them, the truth had been hiding in plain sight all along.
Look at his face. There's two faces there. There's a face behind a face.
Public glitch. Just like Biden, theories swirled that Mitch McConnell had already been replaced. According to believers, what the public saw weren't real people anymore, just stand-ins, clones, maybe even AI-driven avatars. During one press conference, something strange happened. McConnell had been speaking when a woman stepped forward and tapped his hand. He froze almost instantly. The clip replayed everywhere. Some wondered why she'd do that so openly if it were true. Others claimed he had glitched, about to say something he wasn't supposed to, and she had to shut him down, whatever it was. It looked unsettling enough to keep the theories alive. Thermal secret.
There is heat coming from the buildings, it's showing orange. But even when they're walking, how do you explain that? Again, I don't know whether they're reptilian, vampires, I don't know. I don't claim to know what they are.
One woman claimed she had proof reptilians existed, and she said it was captured near Buckingham Palace. Using a thermal camera, she filmed ordinary people outside. They all showed normal heat signatures. Even the guards at the gates registered clearly, but when she zoomed toward figures inside the palace grounds, she insisted something was off. No visible heat signature at all. Online, people connected it to old reptilian lore, claiming they ran cooler than humans. The timing made it worse, especially with Epstein files being released. Some believed higher-ups would eventually reveal their true forms, or maybe they already had.
As I'm walking down, I'm filming, everything's showing normal. I filmed the guards outside of the palace, exactly the same thing. No heat whatsoever.
Alien Shadow.
Jeffrey Epstein wrote a 2018 email to theoretical physicist Lawrence Krauss asking him to debunk out-of-body experiences, alien abductions, and ghost stories.
Theories have already linked Jeffrey Epstein to aliens, but one clip pushed it further. He was filming himself, casual enough, until people noticed the doorway behind him. A tall, gray figure stood there, bulbous head, pale, unmoving. It looked exactly like the classic alien gray. The footage didn't seem edited either. Then an old email surfaced between Epstein and Lawrence Krauss about debunking alien abductions. That part really bothered people. Why try so hard to dismiss something that supposedly had no proof? It sounded less like skepticism and more like damage control.
You put an article on how to debunk claims, alien abductions, for example. Many people share similar stories, ghost, out-of-body experiences. I like to include some of the criticisms that have been brought, i.e. 10 years of similar stories, etc. Just give it to me. It will not have your name attached to it.
Mechanical gaze. During Trump's live press conference in the Oval Office, viewers weren't focused on him at all. They were staring at the woman standing behind him. Something about her looked wrong. Her eyes were wide and unsettling, almost rolled upward until they appeared white. Her expression stayed frozen, robotic, as if she was glitching in real time. People instantly began speculating that she wasn't human at all, but a reptile in human skin fighting to stay in control. Later, it came out she was Michael Dell's wife, which only fueled more theories. If one elite could look like that on live TV, people wondered what the rest might really be hiding.
It's a very special moment. We're making a $6.25 billion investment in America's kids through our charitable fund.
Another clip of Susan Dell standing beside Michael Dell went viral as they discussed a new project. But nobody focused on the launch. All eyes were locked on Susan. From the second the video started, people said her movements felt off, too stiff, too calculated, and you don't see her blink even once. I mean, that's really concerning. Her eyes stayed wide open the entire clip, which seriously unsettled viewers. Comments flooded in with reptilian theories. Even skeptics admitted something felt strange. The way she held herself, the cold expression. People swore it wasn't just nerves. They were convinced she was a non-human, and her act was slipping off.
Next year, every American child will be able to get an investment account powered by Invest America.
Frozen Island. After the Epstein files dropped, people said his island was just the beginning. Some claimed he was a pawn, only a minion. Then someone scrolling maps stumbled across Rothschild Island in Antarctica, which interestingly is very remote, restricted, and yes, barely documented. Yet somehow it had Google reviews. That alone raised eyebrows. Some reviews mentioned strange activity. Others flat out claimed reptilians lived there. The name Rothschild already carried weight in conspiracy circles, so this only fueled it. And Antarctica, being heavily restricted, doesn't help their case either. Why own land in a frozen, isolated place unless there was something worth hiding under all that ice? Makes sense, right? Hidden passage. A couple wandering near the White House claimed they found a concealed side door slightly open. It blended so perfectly into the wall, they almost missed it. The guy nearly stepped inside, but backed off, thinking about the consequences. Probably smart. Online, people ran wild with it. Theories said reptilians had underground tunnel systems beneath government buildings, connecting hidden bases. Some even suggested entire subterranean cities existed below DC. Secret passages, secret meetings, secret species. The idea of something operating quietly under everyone's feet made the clip 10 times creepier. Island double.
Why are you on Epstein Island? Who do you work for?
A YouTuber claimed he sneaked around Epstein's island and spotted a woman filming him, guarded closely. He swore she looked like Ghislaine Maxwell. Then a recent prison photo surfaced, released February 9th, 2026, and people compared it to older images. The difference shocked them. Facial structure, expressions, even posture was different. Some insisted it had to be a clone placed in prison instead of the real Maxwell. A clip of her walking in the yard with an umbrella over her head only added fuel. Since when did prisons hand out umbrellas? To many, it looked deliberate, like someone hiding a face that didn't quite match. So what do you think? Could it really be Maxwell on the island? Temporal email.
We should explore the biological consequences of time travel. It would be amusing to calculate the rate of evolution of a population or a mutant that can travel in time.
One email from the Epstein files went viral for a reason nobody expected. It mentioned biological consequences of time travel, and mutants. People read it over and over, trying to make sense of it. If someone discussed biological side effects, didn't that imply experiments already happened? The wording felt too specific to be hypothetical. The internet spiraled instantly. Hybrids, engineered humans, timeline manipulation. It was just one email, but it complicated everything. Suddenly, the question wasn't whether strange experiments existed, but whether they had already bent time itself. Metallic secret. Trump's name sits in the Epstein files, though many claim the most revealing parts haven't been released. Online theories say he's protected, even labeled by some as elite-level reptilian. People began revisiting old clips, but no one expected this. The video paused at just the right moment, showing the back of his head and something metallic gleaming beneath his hair. The clip went viral in seconds, and it looked oddly mechanical. Suddenly, people began talking about a robot double, a stand-in built to mimic the real thing. Sounds wild, right? But when you watch that clip closely, it's hard to unsee. This one's older, but it resurfaced for a reason. Someone at a gas station in Texas caught a man who looked exactly like Trump on camera. Same build, same face, even a Navy cap pulled low like he didn't want to be recognized. Most people brushed it off as a doppelganger sighting, just coincidence. But conspiracy circles saw something else. They claimed this was the real Trump, hiding in plain sight, while the one in the spotlight was a clone, or worse, a reptilian-controlled replica, just like Biden had been replaced. Live distortion. You've probably heard the claim that reptilians controlled the media, planted their own people inside newsrooms. Well, one live TV clip sent that theory into overdrive. A reporter was mid-sentence when his face suddenly distorted. His eyes and mouth seemed to lose shape, almost melting. Then his whole body glitched, turning slightly translucent as his features shifted into something barely human. It looked unreal. Skeptics dismissed it as a camera malfunction or compression error, but others weren't convinced. They said it wasn't tech failing, it was a reptilian slipping up on live television. Temple broadcast. Back in 1977, hidden cameras reportedly captured rituals inside Masonic temples in Turkey, and the footage was accidentally aired on Turkish television. People were horrified. At that time, Freemasonry had mostly been a rumor and mystery. Suddenly, viewers saw blindfolded individuals taking oaths, ceremonial acts that looked dark and unsettling. Some even described the rituals as satanic. The broadcast left the public shaken. If that was happening decades ago behind closed doors, people wondered what might be happening now, especially after everything surrounding Jeffrey Epstein came to light. Scarlet Ritual. Rumors about Hollywood being satanic had always floated around, but one Madonna concert pushed it further. She performed dressed in a red robe, flames rising across the stage like some ritual scene. The imagery felt intense. Some attendees later claimed they sensed a heavy, gloomy energy in the arena. Online, people said it wasn't just theatrics. They believed she was portraying a high priestess figure in a symbolic ceremony. The fire, the robes, the choreography. To conspiracy circles, it looked less like entertainment and more like initiation. Bench double. A fan watching a game featuring LeBron James paused the screen and couldn't believe it. In the same frame, just behind LeBron, sat a man on the bench eating popcorn who looked almost identical to him. Same face, same build. It was eerie side by side. The clip went viral fast. Some brushed it off as coincidence. Others swore it was proof of cloning. They even believed that maybe the real LeBron was in the audience while the clone played on court. The resemblance was close enough to make people uneasy. So there's this old clip of LeBron James during a live interview. Everything's normal. He's calm, answering questions. Until suddenly, his eyes flicker. Just for a second, his eye color shifts, then snaps back like nothing happened. But it was live, and thousands caught it. Since then, people haven't stopped replaying that frame, claiming LeBron's not entirely human. Some even say they caught the reptilian slip. Grammy ritual. When Olivia Rodrigo performed at the Grammys, the clip exploded online. Not because of vocals, but because viewers claimed it looked ritualistic. The stage design felt dark, filled with demonic and vampire imagery tied to the song. Some called it her initiation into a satanic industry. Words like sacrifice got thrown around. The symbolism, the lighting, the choreography. Conspiracy pages labeled it cultic. To skeptics, it was just dramatic artistry, but to others, it felt like something much deeper playing out on stage. Familiar stranger. Rumors surrounded Selena Gomez for a while. People said she looked different from her younger self, and not just older. Her features seemed off to them. Her voice sounded changed. In one clip, she spoke strangely, barely opening her mouth, almost stiff. Comments flooded in claiming she didn't act like herself anymore. Some even called her a clone. They pointed out forced laughs, robotic movements, subtle shifts in behavior. Then conspiracy forums tied her name to alleged Epstein file claims about clone replacements. Add in more videos of her acting odd, and believers became convinced something wasn't right. Scripted speech. Is Kamala Harris a robot? Some people genuinely think so, and after watching this clip, it's not hard to see why. Viewers compared her speeches in Wisconsin and Michigan and realized they were almost identical. Even that eerie line, "And when we fight, we win."
And when we fight, we win!
It sounded rehearsed, mechanical, almost like a playback. The internet lit up with theories that she wasn't just scripted, but synthetic. Maybe a political puppet, or something even stranger. Watch closely and tell me that doesn't sound automated. In another clip, Kamala's being asked a simple question, but something's off. She starts repeating the same phrase again and again, almost like a skipping record. She says the word debate nearly 8 times in seconds.
It was a debate. That the whole reason, literally, it was a debate. It was called a debate.
I understand.
Travel to the debate.
You can see the host is uncomfortable, not knowing how to respond. Netizens were unsure if it were nerves or a system malfunction. They called her a hysteric robot. Some even believed that she was some sort of robot experiment.
It was a debate.
So you don't mean it?
It was a debate.
Hidden scales. I'm sure you've come across this eerie clip of this guy casually filming himself, then peeling off what looks like a human mask, revealing a full reptilian face underneath. Even his hands transformed, showing claws where fingers should have been. People laughed it off as some elaborate prank. But then, something unexpected happened. A credible voice joined the conversation. U.S. Army combat veteran Patrick Riley stepped up during a press conference and claimed he'd seen similar things. If even part of what he says is true, we're dealing with something way deeper than internet hoaxes. A living human mask? If reptilians have tech like that, how would anyone even spot them? Hidden nature. A strange recording of Hillary Clinton's old interview suddenly went viral, and people couldn't stop replaying one specific moment. The host casually asked her why she never seemed to sweat.
In preparation for this interview, I watched a lot of your interviews, and I noticed you never sweat, like physically.
You guys are the first to realize that I'm really not even a human being. I was constructed in a garage.
And Hillary, laughing, said she wasn't even human. The host brushed it off, and Hillary laughed along like it was all just a silly joke. But viewers didn't take it lightly this time. Some claimed she was openly hinting at being a reptilian, while others argued she must be some kind of robotic clone, explaining the no-sweat thing.
If you had time to learn a new language, which language would you pick?
Spanish.
Why?
Because we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people in our country.
Stage double. We've all heard those wild celebrity cloning rumors, but this new one about Usher really shook people. Before his concert, reports said he'd injured his neck and even canceled a few shows. But when he finally stepped on stage, fans immediately felt something was off. The guy performing didn't look much like the Usher everyone knows. Even his voice sounded different, almost like someone imitating him. People online started insisting the real Usher was swapped out, either with a lab-grown clone, or, according to the deeper theories, a reptilian shapeshifter struggling to copy him perfectly. It's one of those clips that leaves you wondering what really happened behind the scenes. Lizard Man. A woman was strolling through the park when she suddenly felt like someone, or something, was watching her. She pulled out her phone and started recording. The footage turned out blurry, but if you zoom into the background, you can make out a bipedal, lizard-like creature with a long snout and large staring eyes. The shape looked wrong in all the right ways. Some viewers even compared it to the ancient reptilian statue found in Japan's Horyuji Temple, noting the striking similarity. Whatever she captured that day, it didn't look like any normal animal wandering around a city park. Corpse Congressman. A clip from President Trump's 2017 speech to Congress had gone viral again for a very strange reason. When viewers zoomed in on the crowd, one member looked nothing like a normal human. The face seemed sunken, almost corpse-like, with patches of greenish skin that didn't match anyone around him. People immediately pointed to this as convincing evidence for the long-running theory that powerful figures in Congress were actually reptilian beings in disguise. And honestly, the eeriness in that shot made the theory feel way less far-fetched than before. Cyborg glance. This clip of Putin from 2023 had the internet losing its mind. In it, he raised his left wrist and stared at it, like checking the time. Except there was no watch there, but there was no correction, no oops. Nothing. Just that serious expression, as if he was reading something invisible. At first, people brushed it off as habit, but then theories caught fire. Some claimed he wasn't looking at a wrist. He was looking through it. Cyborg vision, digital overlay, robotic interface. The guesses got wilder by the hour. Maybe it was a slip-up, or maybe we just caught a glimpse of something we weren't supposed to see. Identity swap. Hollywood rumors usually stay rumors, but this one caught people off guard. In an interview, Trippie Redd casually claimed that he was Orlando Brown, not inspired by him, not related to him, literally him. The statement confused everyone. Some brushed it off as metaphor or trolling, others didn't. Online theories exploded, suggesting identity swaps, cloning, or replacements. People started asking if Trippie was the original and Orlando the copy, or vice versa. No explanation ever followed, which only made it stranger. In an industry already filled with clone and reptilian talk, a confession like that felt oddly bold. Joke or slip up, people still debate what he really meant. Silent control. An interview with UFO researcher Len Kasten went viral right after the Epstein files dropped, and people immediately connected the dots. He claimed reptilians had already taken over the planet, not by force, but quietly. According to him, control came through media, education, and influence, not tanks or invasions. And honestly, people online nodded along. They pointed to all those clips of public figures freezing, glitching, or looking oddly different mid-sentence. With everything resurfacing after Epstein, this theory suddenly felt less laughable to some. Kasten said we wouldn't see chains or soldiers, just systems shaping how we think. And the unsettling part? Many felt like that description already matched the world we're living in. Clone joke. An old clip of Miley Cyrus resurfaced where she joked about Disney stars being cloned. At the time, everyone laughed. She even said that if she were cloned, sometime between 2013 and 2060, the clone would malfunction due to a system bug. Fast forward to now, and people aren't laughing as much. Fans started comparing old and recent footage, saying she looked and behaved like a different person entirely. The joke suddenly felt oddly specific. Was it just humor, or a slip disguised as sarcasm? Online speculation tied it to her drastic transformations over the years. Some believe what people are seeing now is exactly what she warned about, just hidden in plain sight, wrapped as a joke. Cryptic hands. A clip of Angelina Jolie making strange hand movements resurfaced and left viewers unsettled. Her fingers moved slowly, deliberately, forming shapes that didn't look accidental. People called them witch-like, symbolic, even ritualistic. Some believed it was a signal. Others thought it was an unconscious gesture slipping through, but no one could explain why it looked so deliberate. Comment sections filled with reptilian theories, claiming her human disguise was faltering. In an industry where nothing is accidental, people questioned why those movements were caught on camera at all. Strange glitch. In the moments after the Charlie Kirk incident, something bizarre was caught on camera. A chair appeared to pass straight through a metal table. Not slide, not break it, just went through it, like the table wasn't even solid. People replayed the clip frame by frame, trying to make sense of it. Was it a hologram? A visual glitch? No explanation ever came, and that silence only made things louder online. What really fueled speculation was the fact that Kirk's name had also surfaced in the Epstein files. That connection made people wonder if this was all part of something bigger. Some even questioned whether Charlie was ever physically there at all. At this point, reality itself felt questionable. Surveillance facade. A recent ad for Amazon's Ring search party feature blew up online, and not in a good way. People said the whole lost pet concern felt like a cover. Instead of helping neighbors, critics claimed it was building the largest civilian surveillance web through Amazon's Ring cameras. Articles even called it a nationwide watch network. Then comparisons to Pokemon Go resurfaced, with old rumors tying it to the CIA collecting location data. From there, it spiraled into reptilian government theories about total control, monitoring everything, intervening anytime. Honestly, that escalated fast. Creepy chant. A strange clip of Lana Del Rey and Camila Cabello went viral, and not in a good way. People fixated on how Lana kept repeating, "I love it."
I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it.
Over and over, almost like a chant. Then she licked her fingers and touched Camila's hair. That's when viewers got uncomfortable. Online, people started calling it ritualistic, saying the repetition plus the gesture felt intentional. Some even claimed it looked like energy extraction, the kind you hear about in conspiracy circles. Reptilian theories popped up fast, with people saying this was how entities supposedly feed. Nothing was confirmed, of course, but the clip left many uneasy. Sometimes it's not what happens, it's the feeling it gives. Frozen glance. After the Epstein files were released, a press briefing clip featuring FBI Director Kash Patel went viral. Viewers fixated on how off he looked. His eyes appeared bloodshot, almost bulging, and for a brief moment, he seemed completely frozen. People online claimed it wasn't stress, it was something else. They called it a reptilian glitch. Toward the end of the clip, his eye movements looked stiff and mechanical, as if scanning the room. Comment sections exploded with theories. Some said he'd seen something shocking in the files. Others believed the clip accidentally revealed something non-human. Either way, the footage left people uneasy, questioning what reactions were genuine anymore. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.